Spinny, spin. Anzac Memorial. It's the 25th of April, and it is Anzac Day. It's also Easter as well, Easter Monday. Which I don't think it's ever fallen on that for my memory. Well, not when I've been alive and cared. And yeah, there was a memorial service here, right here, at about 10 o'clock this morning. It was a very quiet one. I didn't actually come down, but it was raining. It's a horrible excuse not to come down. But I was talking to Marina, and Marina said, who's my flatmate, mentioned that she didn't want to come down because her grandparents were both she put a word to, I can't remember what the word was, but anti-war, and so they were not involved in the war, and one of them actually went to prison for it or got sent to some kind of camp. Jeez, it's very noisy. And because of that, she's has never gone to an Anzac door. She said that she doesn't go to Anzac memorials. And I've never been to one myself, which is pretty sad of me, I believe. However, when I took on Marina's option, I also thought, well, I believe that and don't believe it at the same time. Every year, I always do come down to a memorial, usually like this, where there's no one else around, but I've always done that because I feel better about it, you know? It just makes me go, yep, hey, those a generation or two ago did something in the world that was not good, or some did that was not good, and others did that were good, you know, it was that kind of thing. But then no one's actually learned from that, and we still go to wars. I was at the I've forgotten what it's called. I need to move, there's people hanging around. I was at the Sea Memorial, and there's a dog. Waiouru Army Museum. And while I was there, it was some time ago, a couple of years back, I had a Swedish girl with me as I was touring around the North Island, and she mentioned that she couldn't understand why there was a military museum and glorifying war, because she said in Sweden they are a neutral country, and she said they don't do that, glorify it in memorials like a museum, and she just could not understand that. And I was like, well, I can appreciate that. And then on top of that, when it was within the past year, I was at my great uncle's, who's coming out. He's coming 90 very soon, and he was in World War II. He actually served over in the Pacific area, and when he was serving there, he was there for about 2 years over in the islands. And I asked him, what did you tell me some stuff about the war? He said he never talks about it, and also he doesn't march in any of the Anzac parades because he does not want to remember. So, you need to remember, because if you don't remember your past, you're going to relive your future, kind of thing, or whatever the saying is. But I've always believed that if you don't know what your past was, you're going to get yourself in trouble again. And there are so many people that are like that. People forget so easy. So easy. So I'm not even going to go into examples, but even like things like, okay, one example, just a year ago, right? It was only just a year ago, the BP oil spill. Yeah, people have forgotten about that. People still go to BP and get their fuel, and it's just a small thing, but people repeat their mistakes. People don't care enough in the end. So is that a sign of me not caring by not going to any dawn parades or dawn services? Maybe, but I still remember. I know my history. I know there are also a lot of false flags that cause a lot of wars, and the only way a war can actually partake to start with is if there is lies told. And that's one reason why WikiLeaks is such an important thing, because the reason why we get into wars is because our politicians don't tell us the truth in the first place. So, hey, if we're all honest about things, we wouldn't have these situations to deal with in the first place, would we? So yeah, and just cap that off. Remember Building 7. If you don't know what it is, go to buildingwhat.org, and then you might learn a little bit about false flags and why we're made to go to war. Peace, if there is ever such a thing. See ya. Spinny, spin, 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 spin.